Welcome to the Honeyed Murmurs of Eventide, a soothing and enchanting sleep story designed to lull you into a peaceful slumber within a valley of perpetual twilight. If you find yourself charmed by the gentle magic of Eventide and wish for more tranquil tales, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for future journeys into restful realms. Before we embark on Elara's journey into the Valley of Eventide and the art of sound weaving, we will begin with a gentle breathing guidance to help you unwind and prepare for the soothing murmurs ahead. Should you wish to drift directly into the story, you can find the chapter timestamps conveniently located in the description below. Now, allow yourself to settle into a comfortable position. Let your body become heavy and relaxed against your bed, feeling fully supported and at ease. Perhaps adjust your blankets or pillow to create a nest of coziness just for you. This is your sanctuary, your time to release the day's concerns and invite a profound sense of calm and quiet into your evening. Let the imagined scent of honeysuckle and lavender, carried on the soft evening breeze of eventide, begin to wash over you, gently guiding you towards a state of deep relaxation. Let us take a soothing breath together, much like the soft sighs of the valley itself. Inhale slowly and deeply through your nose, allowing the air to fill your lungs easily and naturally, like the gentle expansion of twilight across the valley. Then exhale slowly and completely through your mouth, like a soft sigh of relief carried on the evening breeze. With each breath, feel your shoulders softening, your jaw relaxing, and any lingering tension melting away. Imagine a wave of warmth spreading through your body with each inhale, and with each exhale, visualize any remaining stress gently flowing away, carried on the honeyed murmurs of eventide. If your mind wanders, as minds often do, simply acknowledge the thoughts without judgment and let them drift by like clouds in the tranquil twilight sky. Gently guide your attention back to your breath or to the sound of my voice, allowing the soothing rhythm of the story to draw you in. There is nothing you need to do now, but listen and allow the gentle magic of eventide to carry you toward restful sleep. Feel the quiet pulse of the valley, the steady rhythm of nature as it slows and softens into evening. Let it gently carry away any worries, any lingering thoughts, any unease, leaving only peace in its wake. Allow yourself to become one with the tranquil harmony of eventide. Chapter 1. Arrival in Eventide. Elara stepped off the worn path and into the Valley of Eventide, a place that felt instantly different from the bustling city she had left behind. The air here was soft, almost velvety, carrying the sweet fragrance of honeysuckle and the grounding scent of damp earth. She paused at the valley's edge, taking a deep breath, and felt a subtle shift within her, a loosening of the tight knot of anxiety that had become a constant companion. The setting sun, already low on the horizon, cast a warm amber glow across the landscape, painting the rolling hills and gentle meadows in hues of peace and tranquility. As she walked further into the valley, the sounds of the city faded behind her, replaced by a delicate chorus of nature. The gentle rustling of leaves in a nearby grove of willow trees sounded like whispered secrets, and the distant chirping of crickets added a rhythmic undertone to the evening symphony. A small stream gurgled softly nearby, its clear water reflecting the fading light like liquid gold. Elara followed a narrow dirt road, her footsteps muffled by the soft grass growing at its edges. She noticed the slow, deliberate pace of everything around her, a stark contrast to the hurried rush of the city. The village of Eventide nestled peacefully in the heart of the valley, its houses built of warm, moss-covered stone and dark, seasoned wood. Smoke curled lazily from chimneys, carrying the faint, comforting aroma of wood smoke and something subtly sweet, perhaps baking bread or simmering herbs. Villagers moved with a quiet grace, tending to small gardens bursting with colorful flowers and verdant vegetables. They exchanged gentle nods and soft smiles as Elara passed, their eyes holding a deep serenity that seemed to emanate from the valley itself. There was no urgency here, no sense of striving, only a quiet contentment that permeated the very air. Elara found her way to the village's small inn, the Twilight Rest, its sign swinging gently in the evening breeze. The inn was a cozy two-story building with window boxes overflowing with vibrant pink and purple petunias. She stepped inside, the scent of beeswax and dried lavender enveloping her like a warm embrace. The common room was dimly lit by flickering candlelight, casting soft, dancing shadows on the wooden walls. A crackling fire in the hearth radiated a gentle warmth, inviting weary travelers to rest and relax. Behind the counter, a kind-faced woman with silver hair pulled back in a loose braid greeted Elara with a warm smile. Her voice was soft and melodious, like the gentle chime of wind chimes. "Welcome to the Twilight Rest, dear traveler," she said. "Are you seeking lodging for the night?" Elara nodded, feeling a wave of relief wash over her. She was finally here in this place of whispered tranquility, ready to let go of the city's burdens and embrace the peace of Eventide. The innkeeper, whose name was Willow, led Elara to a small but comfortable room on the upper floor. The room was simply furnished with a soft bed piled high with fluffy quilts, a wooden chair by the window, and a small table with a flickering candle. The window looked out over the village gardens, bathed in the soft, fading light of twilight. Elara opened the window, letting in the cool evening air and the gentle murmurs of the valley. She sank onto the soft bed, feeling the day's tensions begin to dissipate. The gentle sounds of eventide, the distant chirping of crickets, the soft rustle of leaves, the quiet murmur of voices from downstairs wrapped around her like a comforting blanket. She closed her eyes, breathing deeply, and allowed herself to be enveloped by the valley's profound tranquility. The weight of the day began to lift, replaced by a sense of peaceful anticipation for the quiet night ahead. As darkness deepened and the stars began to pepper the twilight sky, Elara drifted into a state of peaceful drowsiness, lulled by the honeyed murmurs of eventide and the promise of restful sleep. The gentle magic of the valley, subtle and pervasive, began to work its calming influence, preparing her mind and body for a night of deep and restorative slumber. She felt herself sinking deeper into the soft mattress, a gentle warmth spreading through her limbs, releasing any lingering tension. Chapter 2. The Soundweaver's Hut. The next morning, Elara awoke feeling refreshed and deeply rested, a feeling she hadn't experienced in months. Sunlight streamed gently through her window, painting the room in soft golden hues. The air was crisp and clean, carrying the invigorating scent of pine and damp earth. She stretched languidly, noticing how light and at ease her body felt. The valley's tranquility seemed to have seeped into her very bones, leaving her feeling calm and centered. After a simple breakfast of warm bread and honey at the inn, Elara ventured out to explore the village. Willow had mentioned Old Man Hemlock, the village elder and soundweaver, suggesting Elara might find him interesting. Intrigued, Elara asked for directions to his hut, and soon found herself walking along a winding path leading towards the edge of the village and into a small grove of ancient willow trees. The path was lined with wildflowers in vibrant shades of blue, yellow, and purple, their delicate petals glistening with morning dew. Nestled amongst the willows, she found Hemlock's hut, a charming, round structure built of weathered wood and thatched with moss and grasses. Chimes of various shapes and sizes hung from the eaves, tinkling softly in the gentle breeze, a comfortable chair by the hearth. "Please make yourself comfortable. You are interested in the murmurs of eventide, I presume?" Elara nodded, settling into the chair, its cushions soft and inviting. She felt a sense of quiet curiosity and anticipation building within her. Hemlock began to explain the unique magic of the Valley of Eventide, how the prolonged twilight created a special kind of tranquility, and how he, as the sound weaver, collected and preserved the valley's evening sounds. He showed her his workshop, explaining the function of each device and vial. He pointed to vials filled with a shimmering golden liquid. "These," he said, his voice hushed with reverence, "contain the captured sighs of the evening breeze through the willow trees. They hold the very essence of tranquility." He showed her others filled with a soft blue mist, the chirps of the night crickets, imbued with peaceful stillness, and vials containing a warm amber glow, the gentle murmur of the stream, carrying away worries and anxieties. Elara was captivated by the concept of capturing sounds, of preserving the ephemeral beauty of the evening murmurs. She asked Hemlock how he learned this craft, and he smiled, a gentle crinkling around his eyes. "It is a tradition passed down through generations in Eventide," he explained. "We believe the sounds of the evening hold a special magic, a power to soothe the soul and guide us towards peaceful dreams. It is our duty to protect and share this magic." As Hemlock spoke, Elara felt a deep resonance with his words. She had come to Eventide seeking peace, and it seemed she had stumbled upon something far more profound, a way to actively cultivate and share tranquility through the gentle magic of sound. The honeyed murmurs of Eventide, she realized, were not just sounds. They were a balm for the soul, a pathway to inner peace, and perhaps a forgotten language of harmony. Chapter 3. Learning the Craft. Hemlock began Elara's instruction in the art of sound weaving the very next evening, as the valley began its slow descent into twilight. He led her out of his hut and into the deepening dusk, the air growing cooler and stiller. The scent of lavender from a nearby garden drifted on the gentle breeze, mingling with the earthy aroma of the dampening soil. He instructed Elara to close her eyes and simply listen, to become attuned to the subtle symphony of Eventide's evening chorus. Elara closed her eyes, focusing her attention inward and outward simultaneously. At first, she heard only a general hum of nature, but as she concentrated, individual sounds began to emerge from the background. The soft rustle of leaves in the willow trees, like silken whispers, the distant chirping of crickets, a rhythmic pulse of evening, the gentle gurgle of the stream, a constant soothing murmur. The sigh of the breeze as it brushed against her cheek, carrying the scent of distant wildflowers. Hemlock guided her, pointing out the nuances of each sound, helping her discern the subtle variations and emotional qualities embedded within them. "Listen to the willow leaves," he murmured, his voice low and calming. "They speak of gentle surrender, of letting go. Feel their soft rustle against your skin and release any tension you may be holding." Elara focused on the sound of not just sound, but also the essence of the evening itself. She felt a sense of quiet wonder, a deep appreciation for the subtle beauty of the natural world and the gentle magic that permeated Eventide. As the twilight deepened and the first stars began to appear in the darkening sky, Hemlock and Elara returned to his hut, their vials filled with captured murmurs. The air in the hut was filled with the subtle vibrations of the collected sounds, a gentle hum of tranquility. Hemlock smiled at Elara, his eyes filled with warmth and encouragement. "You have a natural gift for listening, Elara," he said. "The valley welcomes you, and its murmurs whisper to you. You are ready to begin weaving." Elara felt a sense of quiet joy and gratitude. She was learning not just a craft, but a way of being, a way of connecting with the peace and harmony of the natural world. The honeyed murmurs of Eventide were not just sounds to be captured, but a language to be learned, a pathway to inner tranquility, and a gentle invitation to weave peace into the fabric of the world. Chapter 4. The First Weaving. The next day, Hemlock guided Elara to his weaving room, a small sun-drenched space adjacent to his workshop. In the center of the room stood a small loom crafted from polished willow wood, its threads shimmering with a pale moonlight color. Soft cushions lay scattered on the floor, inviting comfort and contemplation. The air was filled with the gentle scent of silk and beeswax, creating a calming and focused atmosphere. Hemlock explained the process of sound weaving, demonstrating how to select vials of captured murmurs and weave them into threads of moonlight silk. He showed her how each sound, when carefully woven, would imbue the silk with its unique tranquility, creating a balm that could release these murmurs throughout the night, guiding sleepers towards peaceful dreams. He emphasized the importance of intention, of weaving with a heart full of peace and gentle kindness. Elara watched intently as Hemlock selected a few vials from his collection, the gentle rustle of willow leaves captured on a still evening, the distant hoot of an owl echoing across the valley, the quiet gurgle of the stream as it flowed over smooth stones. He carefully opened each vial, releasing a faint ethereal whisper of sound, and then, with deft hands, began to weave the moonlight silk, embedding the captured murmurs into the fabric. As he wove, a palpable sense of calm settled over the room. The gentle sounds, now woven into the silk, seemed to harmonize and amplify each other, creating an atmosphere of profound peace. Elara felt her own anxieties and worries begin to recede, replaced by a quiet sense of contentment and focus. The texture of the silk as Hemlock worked seemed to soften and glow with an inner light. It was Elara's turn. With a mix of excitement and trepidation, she approached the loom. Hemlock guided her hand, showing her how to thread the silk, how to select the vials, and how to gently weave the captured murmurs into the fabric. She chose her own vials, the gentle rustle of willow leaves, the distant chirping of crickets from the meadow, and the soft sigh of the evening breeze carrying the scent of honeysuckle. As she began to weave slowly and deliberately, a sense of calm settled over her, much like the atmosphere Hemlock had created. The gentle, repetitive motion of weaving, the soft texture of the silk against her fingers, the subtle release of captured murmurs from the vials all combined to create a meditative and deeply relaxing experience. She focused on her intention, weaving with thoughts of peace, rest, and gentle kindness for those who would receive the Dream-Balm. The room filled with a soft, harmonious hum, a gentle vibration of tranquility emanating from the loom. Elara felt a deep connection to the silk, to the sounds she was weaving, and to the valley itself. It was as if she was channeling the very essence of Eventide, weaving its peace and tranquility into a tangible form. The moonlight silk seemed to glow brighter as she worked, imbued with the captured murmurs and her own peaceful intention. Hours passed in this quiet, focused activity. The twilight deepened outside, casting long shadows across the weaving room. Elara continued to weave, lost in the rhythm and the gentle magic of sound weaving. Finally, as the first stars appeared in the night sky, she finished her first Dream-Balm, a small square of moonlight silk, shimmering with a soft inner light and imbued with the honeyed murmurs of eventide. She held it in her hands, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment and a deep, peaceful calm. Chapter 5. Sharing the Dream-Balm. The next morning, Elara presented her first Dream-Balm to Hemlock, her heart filled with a mixture of pride and nervousness. Hemlock examined the woven silk, his eyes twinkling with approval. "It is beautiful, Elara," he said, his voice warm and encouraging. "You have woven the murmurs with a gentle heart, and the balm radiates with a peaceful light." He explained that the Dream-Balm was ready to be shared with the villagers, to offer them a night of deep, restorative sleep, guided by the honeyed murmurs of eventide. Together, Elara and Hemlock prepared a small basket filled with her Dream-Balm and other balms woven by Hemlock, each one unique, each one imbued with different combinations of evening murmurs. They set out to visit the villagers, starting with the elderly and those known to have troubled sleep. The morning air was crisp and invigorating, carrying the scent of pine and wood smoke from early morning hearth fires. The village was slowly stirring to life, villagers tending to their gardens and preparing for the day ahead. At each house, Hemlock gently explained the Dream-Balm, describing how it was woven with the captured murmurs of eventide and how it would release these soothing sounds throughout the night, guiding them towards peaceful dreams. He emphasized that the balm was a gift of tranquility, a small piece of the valley's gentle magic to help them rest and rejuvenate. Elara watched as the villagers gratefully accepted the balms, their faces softening with anticipation of restful sleep. Many villagers shared stories of restless nights, of worries and anxieties that kept them awake. They expressed deep gratitude for the Dream-Balm, for the gentle magic of Eventide, and for Elara's willingness to learn and share the art of sound weaving. As they went from house to house, Elara felt a growing sense of connection to the villagers, a shared sense of peace and community that permeated Eventide. She realized that sound weaving was not just about capturing sounds and weaving silk. It was about weaving connections, weaving peace into the fabric of the village, and sharing the valley's tranquility with all who needed it. By evening, they had distributed all the Dream-Balms. As twilight began to settle over the valley, Elara and Hemlock stood together at the edge of the village, watching the amber light paint the landscape in hues of peace. The air was still and quiet, filled with a sense of gentle anticipation. From the village houses, faint whispers of sound began to emerge, the soft rustle of Dream-Balm silk, releasing the captured murmurs into the night air. A collective sigh of contentment seemed to rise from the valley as villagers settled into their homes, their minds and bodies soothed by the honeyed murmurs of Eventide. Elara felt a deep sense of peace and fulfillment. She had come to Eventide seeking tranquility, and she had found not only peace for herself, but also a way to share that peace with others. The gentle magic of sound weaving, the honeyed murmurs of the valley, had woven their way into her heart, and she knew she had found her place in Eventide, a place of quiet beauty, gentle magic, and profound tranquility. As darkness deepened and the stars emerged in the clear night sky, Elara and Hemlock returned to his hut, the air around them humming with the collective peace of the village, lulled into restful slumber by the Dream-Balms. The honeyed murmurs of Eventide filled the night, a gentle lullaby of tranquility, promising a night of deep and restorative sleep for all who listened, and for Elara, a peaceful welcome to her new home in the Valley of Perpetual Twilight.